Overwatch Season 4 is here, and they've added a bunch of stuff. Like I'm talking about a new hero, some changes to matchmaking, and even some balance changes for some heroes. Let's go over them. Quick tip for any of you trying to buy the Battle Pass, don't do the standard way of upgrading the Battle Pass. Go to the shop and find this bundle instead. It'll give you 1,000 premium coins, it'll give you a skin, that's kinda cool, and then a weapon charm that I forget to equip sometimes. Because if you're gonna spend any money in this game, you might as well get the most out of it, right? You're welcome. Alright, let's talk about Lifeweaver. I already went over his abilities in depth on the separate video. I will link it in the description for you guys to check out. But in this video, I finally got my hands on the character, so I do have a couple of things to add. So I originally thought his healing was gonna be trash, but I'm glad to say it isn't completely trash. If you quickly spam the healing button, it won't work as effectively as holding it for a second then releasing this. By doing so, I found this to be a lot more reliable at healing with Lifeweaver. The only time I would hold the button all the way is when all the enemies died and I could take my time healing my teammates. Because there's no threat around, and there's no immediate need to spam healing. This strategy can only do so much though. The main thing to effectively heal as Lifeweaver is to tell your teammates to get into natural cover until they're topped off. While I was testing out the new hero, I found out you can kind of strafe heal. The healing ball that he throws does lock onto the teammate even through walls, but you only have a small window to release it. You kind of have to flick it towards the wall to do so, but if you don't do it this way, Lifeweaver won't cast the healing orb thing. This also means just like Kiriko, it follows a hero once it locks on. And the best part about Lifeweaver's healing is that another teammate can't accidentally steal your healing. Think of Genji that's just moving very crazy and just being extra. Once you lock into a Genji, it will follow him until he gets healed, or if it gets blocked by enemy shields or something. His primary weapon doesn't take that much to switch from healing to damage. It's not like Mercy where you have to wait a little bit just so you can use the pistol she has. I will say if you are good at using the numbers in the keyboard to switch in between healing and damage, you could essentially heal and output damage at the same time, just like Bapper Kiriko. It is possible, but significantly harder because you have to account for how much healing you want to provide and your ammo count on the weapon. This strategy is still a work in progress for me. As more people get used to playing Lifeweaver, I'm sure we can figure out the most effective way of playing the new character. The dash ability is pretty okay. It'll give you enough health and distance away from the enemies so that your passive healing can kick in. You are vulnerable during that dash, so don't expect to be like Moira's Fate ability, where you have some invincibility frames. So if you're gonna dash, keep this in mind. You can still take damage. So with his life grip ability, I found out you can't pull people off the map, which is unfortunate because some people in a match really deserve it. So if you do plan to use life grip, you gotta put a little bit more thought before you press that button, because otherwise you're just gonna cause unintentional throwing and your team will probably get very upset at you. But in the best case, I've seen this ability used in a Ryan v Ryan match, and the smart Lifeweaver on the other team yanked him off the other Ryan when he was clearly losing, and he pulled him aside to basically heal him and reset. That smart player from the other team got me thinking, maybe other dive heroes could probably benefit from this, like Doomfist or Winston. If they go in too deep and they basically have no abilities to leave their sticky situation, Lifeweaver can just reel him in like a fisherman, saving his sorry ass and healing him up again before he goes and disrupts the backline again. It's too early to say, but I think Lifeweaver will be a great person to synergize with the dive heroes, so watch out for team comps that will cater to this playstyle. The pedal platform is alright. It can stay on the battlefield as long as you want, as long as no one steps on it, which means you can just leave it somewhere for the entire match, and the only time it'll go away is if someone destroys it or someone physically hops onto it. Let's say someone steps on it, whether that be a friendly player or an enemy player. Once it elevates, it'll stay around for like 9 seconds or something. Then it gets destroyed by itself. You can cancel this ability as well. If you accidentally place it somewhere by accident, you can just use whatever key binding it is to just cancel it, which is a convenient feature to have, because this ability is still new, so there will be a lot of trial and error for the character, so it's good that you can cancel it manually if you needed to. The thing I don't like about pedal platform is I want it to be used more defensively. Like let's say a Doomfist or Roadhog knocks me off the map. I wanted Lifeweaver to be able to use his pedal to save himself, but you can't do that unless it's placed on solid ground. If it's not on solid ground, it just bounces off. I wish you could just cast it wherever you like, just like Sigma Shield. Then maybe it could be used in more fun ways than just elevating things. But I find myself rarely using this ability. So for Lifeweaver's ult, I was actually impressed with how much healing the tree actually does. Assuming they all don't focus the damn tree, it could output a significant amount of healing for your teammates. You can also put this ult on the flower petal. I don't know how useful this could be, but if you're going to do this, your allies need to be within line of sight for the healing to work. Otherwise, your teammate could just die, and type healer diff in the chat. You could also cancel this ability using the same button you used to cast it. So don't make the mistake of accidentally canceling it. I know the character's only been out for a day, but may I suggest some changes, Blizzard? But I'm gonna throw out some suggestions to Blizzard. They should have a timer for the pedal platform and the ult. There isn't really much way to tell when your abilities would expire. You can only go by the sounds from the pedal platform or just count the amount of pulses from the Tree of Life. So if sometime in the near future, I'd like them to add a timer so we can really know when it's gonna expire. But other than that, Good luck trying to play Lifeweaver. When I was playing Quick Play, there was a 3-minute queue for healers, which is crazy. I didn't know anyone wanted to play healers. Alright, moving on, we have the new stranded spawn system. Have you guys ever felt like the game punishes you because you died at the very moment your team captured the point, and now you have to walk your ass all the way back from the first spawn room? Well, the stranded spawn room allows you to be able to teleport to the current spawn room just by pressing the interact key. Meaning if the team captures the point and the spawn point move, you don't have to jump off the cliff to save the time it would take to walk. You can just hit the interact button to save time and just go to the new spawn room already. Thank God. Great switch, Overwatch. I don't know about you, but this problem sucked for many years. I hated walking so far from spawn just to see my teammates get clapped, and then they have the audacity to spam, "Where's my heals?" Now, I can just press one button and regroup with my team a lot faster, and if I need to, I could probably switch to a hero that would either counter the team or synergize with my team better. Now, don't forget you only have about 7 seconds after they capture the point, otherwise, you'll have to walk your sorry ass back all the way from original spawn, so keep that in mind. Alright, next up, unranked changes. They made a little bit of change to the unranked matchmaking. Whoever leaves, their replacement won't be some guy from the top 500 ladder. Instead, they will be matched with the skill level of the other players in the match. I'll have to test this out and see for myself, but I'm glad they added this change because this is the main reason why I hate playing unranked. Like, I don't understand how the moment someone leaves their team, they get replaced with a teammate that just straight up hard carries them, and then my team ends up losing instead of the easy one I thought I was gonna get. So, you know, I could add this win under the weekly challenges. I ended up tilted, smashing my desk, and then my day got ruined. All because the other team got rewarded for having a lever. So maybe with this change, I can actually go back to unranked and just relax and just enjoy casual play. Competitive mode is addressing the levers for this patch. They say that your rank would depend on how severe the suspension length would be for you. So what I'm assuming from this is that you will get a harsher punishment the higher you climb on the competitive ladder. Next part says that they're going to remove the reset from the severity of the suspension length that you get at the very start of each season. Meaning if you're the guy that leaves every match you join, you won't reset to the default 15-minute ban you get from your first offense. You will continue your ban from whatever length you left it off last season. So if you got banned on your 10th match that you've left, I don't know how long that ban is, but I assume you'll never play Overwatch until they release PvE, which is probably going to be 5 years from now. And then the last part about the competitive changes is the developers are mentioning that it'll have a negative effect on their rank after winning 5 matches. So I'm assuming what they meant by this is the more you leave, the more likely you'll get a lower rank. And on top of that, you'll be suspended for a long ass time. My only concern is the people that have legitimate reasons for leaving competitive mode. The majority of the players aren't streamers or content creators. They have other obligations that might pop up and require them to just leave the match. Or let's say that player has just really trash ass Wi-Fi and just disconnects from the match. Overwatch does give you a time to rejoin, and then sometimes it just doesn't let you, or your internet just took too long to reset. Under these circumstances, I don't think it's fair for these people to get suspended for such a long time, but it's also not fair for the other folks that blocked out time specifically to play Overwatch uninterrupted. One thing I would say that Overwatch should do is make an appeal claim submission for people that don't have a bad track record of leaving often, and just submit a reason why they should have their suspension reduced. Not completely removed, but I'll leave that to the discretion of the developers, but they should get a chance to at least appeal their suspension. That way, if there is a legitimate reason and they thought it was fine, they could reduce a sentence, and then they could actually play the game that they love. Alright, moving on. They increase the amount of comp points you get from winning a match from 15 to 25. So it'll be a lot easier to get gold guns in Overwatch. That's not all the changes they made for comp points. They also increased the amount of comp points you get after each season. Well, I think it might be easier if I just show you the list. Here's the list. This is the bonuses you'll get for just getting your placements in Overwatch. Then after the season ends, you get some bonus comp points. It also looks like they're reducing the points you get from GM and Masters, which is funny to me because they probably don't care since they probably have every gold gun in the game. But for the rest of the population, I think this is a fantastic change. This means some people I know can actually get their first gold gun. Before this change, you had to win 200 matches in order to get one gold gun, which is a tall order to ask considering this game will have you losing more times than you win, which causes some people to just give up on the pursuit of a gold gun because they're not really die-hard fans, let's say. They're just casual. They play 1 or 2 games a week and then hop off to play another game. But with the changes with the amount of comp points you win per win, you can now earn a gold gun within 120 games that you've won, which is a pretty significant number in my opinion. A lot better than 200. Plus, if you combine this with the bonus points you get from placements at the end of the season, you'll be able to get your golden guns a lot sooner now. So a notable change they added when you queue into comp matches now is that they will display the average skill tier and division of all the players in the match. So this way, the player can evaluate their own rank with the other players in that match. I think this is a pretty good change. At least the player will get a better understanding of what teammates you're going to be working with. I don't know, man. Sometimes averages can be crazy. I feel like there's going to be instances where there's going to be a GM player in my match paired up with another bronze player in order to just balance out the average. They don't explicitly say that this won't happen, but if they're trying to average out their skill tier and division of all the players in the match, this might be a possibility. But overall, I still think it's a nice change to have. It'll definitely give me a better idea of the battle I should expect. So overall, I would say pretty good change. They also removed the reduction of rank from the previous match, so I'm guessing this means that if your rank dropped from last season, they said fuck it and just raise your skill a division higher, which explains why some of you may see your rank higher than where you originally left it off from season 3. For me, that explains a lot. I don't remember being close to diamond before season 3. I was a lot closer to platinum 5 than anything else. Realistically, I expect myself to lose more games coming forward because I don't feel like I myself am worthy of diamond just yet. However, you might feel differently, and hopefully with this increase in rank, you can prove yourself to Overwatch by winning all your games going forward. If not, sorry buddy, you had your chance. Better luck next time. On the other hand, I'm so happy they removed rank decay. I always felt like I was trying to play a game of catch up. The season would just knock me down and then I'd have to claw my way back to where I just originally started. In season 2, I got pretty close to my highest rank, but not enough to beat the season decay. So at the end of that season, guess what? It just bumped me down back to where I was at the beginning of season 2. And what made this just very frustrating for me is because my MMR says I should be playing close to like the platinum level, but my visible rank dropped all the way down to high silver and low gold. And I felt like the game was just trying to piss me off at that rate. So I never felt encouraged to continue where I left off because I was too busy trying to get my ass to the starting line this whole time. So with this change, at least we can just start off where we left off last season. I do hope they have a limit to this decay though. Like if someone hasn't played Overwatch in a year, I don't know if I'd want these guys in my lobby. Just put them back in bronze or something and then have them work their way up again. A quick developer comment here about matchmaking. They mentioned that if you had a teammate that doesn't appear to be similar to you, the reality is they are in your similar rank. They just didn't play enough games to get back to whatever rank they used to. Meaning if you check their profile and their rank is significantly higher or lower than yours, chances are those teammates are within your ranks. They just haven't played enough games to reflect that visibly. I don't know if you can even check people's ranks. It's kind of hard to tell since a lot of people private their accounts anyways. And for good reasoning. The coldest dudes out there never let these fools know your next move. They always gotta keep them guessing. But all jokes aside, we all probably know that MMR is a thing, and their rank never really indicates their skill at that time. There are more exceptions than I can recall, but with the removal of rank decay, those visible disparities should be less. Other notable changes they did for comp is that there will be information about players' match results, so now it will display stats of wins, loss, and ties. There's also feedback on your progress within a skill division, so if you're wondering why you're not getting out of bronze 5, they will give you feedback after winning 5 comp matches. I personally haven't seen this yet, but I saw a clip on TikToks saying you're at the minimum value for this rank. If this is the case, I feel like this system is way too vague. If winning enough matches won't get you in a higher rank, like what actually does? If I'm just going off basis clip, I was under the impression that if you win enough games, you should move up the rank. But according to this, that might not even guarantee you getting out of your skill division. But I don't know just yet. My opinions are based off this clip and not really from my own experience, so I'll just have to give it some time before I can formulate my own thoughts. Moving on to the hero changes, we're going to start with Ryan. Ryan's health got decreased, so it's now 600 total health, and they also look like they redistribute his armor after this patch. Even though the health was reduced by 25 points, they redistributed the armor, which is something that worries me. I feel like Ryan will die a little bit quicker with these changes, so I expect a lot of Ryan players to play a little bit less aggressive, since the developers are saying that he's overperforming. For Sigma, they reduced the damage to his rock attack thing, but they figured to compensate for this nerf, they increased the stun time. The reason for this change is because the developers are trying to crack down on the one-shot combos in the game. That's crazy considering that they removed Ryan's one-shot ability with his ult, and now they're setting their sights on Sigma's rock combo. For me personally, I could never get this combo to work, so I won't really miss this that much. But if you're a Sigma main, I'm sorry for your loss. But when I hopped on a couple of comp matches and I was playing Sigma, you could still finish off an enemy after the combo. But it's not going to be the same guaranteed kill as the original rock combo. So rip to the rock combo while it lasted. It was nice knowing you. But since they took away Sigma's one-shot combo, I feel like they're going to try to remove the other one-shot combos in the game. So sometime today, tomorrow, or even later down this year, all the one-shot combos in the game has the potential to be removed. they're probably gonna tackle Genji's one-shot combo, or at least figure out a way for Widowmaker to stop one-shotting squishies, but I don't know. I'm just speculating here. It's too early to tell. Cassidy got his health reduced back to his original 200 in old school Overwatch, and also nerfed his one-shot combo with the magnetic grenade. So let's say you get stuck with Cassidy's grenade. He can't follow it up with another body shot to secure the kill. You will actually have a small window to escape. But if he headshots you, I don't know, man. You're kind of dead. But still, I think it's a good change for Overwatch. I hate that magnetic grenade. I still don't think it's as bad as the flash grenade from old Overwatch, but I might be just biased here. Whenever I try to use a grenade, I could never get it to stick to my target, so I might be biased when I say I'm really glad you can finally escape the grenade combo from Cassidy's whack-ass ability. Sombra can now disable Mei's ult with EMP. This is a great change. We can add this to the toolbox of abilities to force Mei to switch to another hero. Anna's got her sleep duration decreased for tanks now. However, DPS and healers are gonna get the whole 5 seconds of nap time. The reason why they're reducing the sleep duration for tanks is because of their larger hitbox and their heavy importance in a team fight. If you take out the tank, the fight gets more favorable to the team that still has a tank that's alive. So now, with this change, the tanks that get hit with Anna's sleep dart will only last 3.5 seconds. I really don't like this change at all. If Anna's in high ground dishing out damage and healing, a high mobility tank like Winston, Diva, or Doomfist could just jump her ass, and with a shorter time on the sleep dart, she might not get the chance to escape in time. That 3.5 seconds isn't enough for Anna to dip out of danger. She is not safe on high ground if the other team has a dive tank. She's gonna get bullied for the rest of that match unless she either plays closer to her team or switches to another healer. Considering the only defense Anna has is her sleeping dart is not good for Anna. Of course, you could say that she can use her bionic grenade to delay her death, but if you're playing her effectively, you have to be throwing your grenade out to the enemy, canceling their heals, and securing a kill for your team. So if you're doing this often, you won't have that grenade available. Also, I feel like the most effective Anna players position themselves in an off angle to punish healers and DPS from not taking cover. What this also means is that you can't defend yourself against Doomfist. Like, have you guys ever played against a really good Doomfist? It's not fun. Like, it feels like Get Quaked On or Zebra hopped on their Smurf accounts and just to bully the lower half of the competitive ladder. However, most of these Doomfists are powerless against a sleep dart while they are in their blocking form. A well-timed sleep dart can render a Doomfist useless and force them to switch. As an Ana player, this is one of the most satisfying things to see. Whenever you see a Doomfist switch, you know you ruined their day. Now with this change to the sleep dart, I don't know how often those moments might occur. Now I feel like I have to couple this with Roadhog or something in order to get that Doomfist to switch now. Overall, not a fan of the change to Ana's sleep dart. Now comes the biggest change of this patch. Brig. She's getting her rally reworked, so when she pops her ult, she gets a bigger shield and a bigger health pool with that big ass shield. Honestly, this change with this shield, I wouldn't expect you guys to hide behind Briggs' shield when she ults, because I feel like she should use this ability selfishly in order to take out key targets in a team fight. Also, it can be used to close the distance towards the enemy team, but if you see Brig pop her ult, don't expect it to be another Rhine shield. The shield should just be only used for Brig. Alongside that big ass shield, her shield bash will now have the added effect of a stun to it. From testing the new character, I honestly feel it's not that bad. The most stun she can get from rally is about 2 stuns. And if she combined this with Kitsune Rush, maybe she'll get a couple more, but it's only 2 stuns. It's not going to be that bad. They did kind of nerf her movement, so during rally, her speed will be a little bit slower than before. And also similar to Ramatra, she gets an instant 100 armor health just from popping her ult. Unfortunately, this armor is only for her. The other guys on your team will still get that green health that you're probably used to seeing. What I feel would happen when she pops her ult, it will keep her alive in many situations just so she could sustain herself long enough for the other healer to arrive, or just do enough damage to heal herself or another teammate that happens to be nearby. Briggs' repair range got reduced by 5 meters. Not really a problem considering that you have to be close to your teammates anyways to heal them. A lot of people may have mixed feelings about this change, but I think this is what she needed to get her picked more. Overall, get ready for the meta to change. It's going to start Brig as a part of that team comp for the start of Season 4. Mercy also got a change from this patch as well. Her healing rate is going up from 45 to 55, making her a stronger healer from last season. However, they took out the burst healing people get when they drop below half health. That's a shame that the burst healing is now gone. I actually like that change. When a bunch of teammates get below half health, I would just triage the heroes that needed the most health immediately and then move on to the next hero. Now that they removed that burst healing, I would have to prioritize like maybe 1 or 2 heroes to pocket and just trust the other healer will just prevent the other ones from dying. Her movement is kind of back. They did reduce the Guardian Angel ability to 1.5 seconds. The only catch is the jump and crouch cancel won't start the cooldown timer until another 1.5 seconds has passed. meaning you might have to wait basically 3 seconds until you can start flying around gracefully again. The only other good thing from the Mercy patch is passive healing is enabled during her ult, so you don't have to heal players in order to get your health back. You can just hide somewhere for a bit and then come back to action. I still think this is an overall buff to Mercy, especially if you are good at her movement. The only difficulty you might run into is just adjusting to the new delays that comes from using all the cancel abilities with Guardian Angel. Let's talk about Moira next. Her residual healing is being increased from 3 seconds. Honestly, I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm glad they increased that number. I don't usually DPS as Moira. When I play her, I just stick to healing as much as I can. However, when I run out of juice, it's a good thing to know that my teammates will have 3 seconds of residual healing before it just goes away. Moira can now fade while she's in coalescence. Okay, what the hell were you thinking, Overwatch? My team has a hard enough time hitting an ulting Moira, and now you think adding a fade to her ability is a good idea? Now at this point, I'm pretty sure they're just encouraging the DPS Moira memes at this rate. Even though they are reducing the bonus speed she gets when her ulting to 40%, I still think Moira is just going to go in like John Wick, trying to murder everyone from the high table. We have some map updates. For the map updates, all the maps are now in rotation. Also, 2 maps will receive lighting changes. So Queen Street is going to be set at dawn, and Hollywood will be set at night. Now moving on to the bug fixes, the most notable change they did is for Ashe. Ashe can't earn ult charge while Bob is still active. They also fixed Cassidy's Deadeye ability. More specifically, they fixed the bug that enabled him to ramp up his Deadeye to OPS levels, and also fixed the bug that causes Deadeye to miss. If you guys didn't know, if you spin Cassidy during Deadeye, you could easily double and sometimes even quadruple the amount of damage it does. And unfortunately, I heard about it too late, and I would try to do this last season, but I think they already patched it before I could get to it. On the other note, thank God they finally changed Deadeye missing. I found this ult pretty useless most of the time, but now with this fix, hopefully I'll be able to snag a couple more people in Deadeye. Another notable change is they fixed Doomfist's seismic slam ability not always registering when used on uneven surfaces. Wow guys, whew, that was a lot of changes. Let me know what you guys think of the changes down below in the comment section. I will link the article so you guys can check out the stuff I haven't covered. Go and like the video and subscribe to help the channel grow, and I'll see you guys on the next one.